Gambino, Gambino, Gambino. Let me hear you, everybody. All right. First thing I want to say, we got the best live DJ in the house. DJ Russian Roulette right here. He's going to play all the music later. So make sure you guys get your dancing shoes on because the rhythm's going to get you later on. All right, so are we having a good time in Vegas tonight? Yeah! We all survived the pandemic, didn't we? That's a beautiful thing. I see all these smiling faces. I see that lovely bartender Reese back there. You guys, when you get your drinks tonight, ask Reese to give you a receipt. Write on the receipt your name. We're having a raffle. Later today, we're giving away a couple of beautiful bottles of wine. So every time you buy a drink, get your receipt, throw your name on it, and it acts like a raffle. A little later on, we got some talented comics. We also got Dania Thomas as Tina Turner. Give it up for Dania Thomas as Tina Turner. And once again, I'd like to thank the Lucky Club Casino, Cool Breeze Promotions, and Platinum for inviting me to be here tonight. We had 2 shows these past 2 weeks. Every Thursday, you can find us here, and it was a party. It was very, very fun. So the coolest thing is that we don't have to wear masks anymore. I think that's great because being single and having to wear a mask, forget about it. That puts you cramp in your style. Because every now and then, you make that eye connection, and you're totally vibing on somebody's eyes, and then they lower that mask, and forget about it. They look like a piranha. You're like, damn! You imagine the beautiful smile, and they move that mask, and it's janky. It's hard, because that fantasy just goes down. But here's my thing about the corona. Did you guys notice that we were under attack by invisible bullets? Invisible bullets. See, when you were in line and somebody turned around and sneezed on you, whoosh, you were sprayed by invisible bullets. It was like, oh my God. You didn't even know you got hit for 3 or 4 days later. You thought you were fine, and then you found out you got the corona. And you guys out there spitting loogies on the ground, those were like grenades. Because I was a big goober full of corona, So I'm so glad that the war looks like it's coming to an end. And it looks like we're all survivors. So all you survivors, let me hear you. Now most of you know they call me Little J because it's obvious. I'm 5 foot with the hat. Every time I come up here behind a tall comic, there'll always be a stand here and the mic's way up here. And I'm like, the plane, boss. But today, they didn't mess with me and put the mic way up here. They just handed it to me. So I'm so happy. I'm so glad. So I wanted to tell you, I'm Italian and I grew up with the F-bomb. Everything was F and this, F and that, F-U-C-K. I'm not saying it, but I'm spelling it. And I realized those 4-letter words don't bother me at all. What actually bothers me are 3-letter words. 3-letter words make me nuts. Like I hate when I'm driving and somebody says, Jay, there's a COP behind you. Not good. I don't like when there's a knock on the door and they say, Jay, it's the FBI. Really not good. I don't like when I go to file my taxes and then the IRS says I owe. And let's look at O, O-W-E. It's these 3 words that get me. And then these 3-letter words like, hey, you know that girl you were shacking up with? She didn't use her IUD. Forget about it. And then even worse, I hate to tell you, but you caught an STD. Or here's one for you. Kids are driving you nuts. And you start yelling at them. And your neighbor calls CPS. It's those 3-letter words I can't handle. But it's okay. Because in the morning you just have a cup of coffee and forget about it. Just forget about it. Now, let me ask you guys, anybody here have kids? Yes. Yep. You got kids? You got little ones or teenagers? Grown, okay. So you my age group. I'm 56. Oh, woo! Give it up for you, man, because you was up here jamming at 70. Look at you. He was up here doing his thing. More power to you. So you have kids my age? Yeah, because I'm 56. Well, do you know times have changed, man? Yes. Raising kids. I mean, your kids grew up in the day of you play outside. Thank you. And there was no such thing as abuse. I mean, you gave them games like dodgeball. Let's think of that. Bang. I do that. What he knows, dodgeball. Okay. Then, in the next generation, the kids grew up shopping at Kmart. And then generation after that, they started shopping at Walmart. And then my last set of kids, Galleria Mall. Oh, it just got harder and harder. Because we used to be able to throw a can outside. Yo, go play kick the can. No, not anymore. Everything's electronic. And you got to keep up with these electronics. And these electronics cost money. So I thought to myself, we need new tactics with our kids today. Because in your day, you picked who your kids talked to. You had full control. Who they visited and who they talked to. Today in the world of the internet, forget about it. No control. You tell your kid, I don't want him talking. I don't want you talking to that boy. She just goes to her friend, gets on her cell phone, click, click, click. You got no way of controlling it. I recently got a divorce. We got any divorced people in the house? Yeah. Okay. When I got my divorce, my ex took our 14-year-old and left me with the dogs. I'm like, she got a better deal. Because my dogs are impacting my social life. My dogs have been dubbed mob dogs. Now, here's what's crazy. One's 7 pounds and one's 9 pounds. Capo and Chino. Together it's cappuccino. I'm just a little bit Italian, So, my little Capo and Chino have become very territorial over me. And they're controlling my love life. They're controlling my social life. Every time I have somebody visit, these tiny little cuddly lap dogs turn into Cujo. People go through the door and forget about it. They're so used to getting my attention now because the only kisses I get when I get home is from my little doggies. So every time I have a lady friend come over, oh my God, I gotta apologize the whole time. One time I had this cute little friend of mine come over and she was so sweet. She comes in, she's like, hey Jay. She gives me a hug. Boom, my dog bites you in the ass. And the minute my dog bites her in the ass, she's so sweet about it. She's like, that's okay. Everybody likes my ass. It's okay. So then we go out on the patio because I turned my patio into Little Italy. So we decided to have some wine and everything. And the dog's looking at her through the glass door and she's waving back. But the minute she comes in with me, forget about it. She just goes to give me a hug goodbye. There's Cujo. Boom, bites her in the other cheek. Once again, she's like, it's okay. I'm used to it. I have a prairie dog. It's okay. Then I have another friend come over. She's a tribute artist. She comes over and the dogs are like, rah, 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 rah. So she sits down and she goes, Jay, I think they smell the cats on me. I think it's the cats. So she sits down and she starts petting my dogs. Now remember, I have this little black dog, Capo, and this little brown dog, Chino. Together it's Cappuccino. But my son has this little 3.5-pound white little doggy. He calls it Lenny. Now if it was mine, I would have called it Latte, Cappuccino and Latte. But little Lenny, he's got a species crisis. You know how right now there's people with gender identity? No, Lenny's got a species identity because he thinks he's a cat. He doesn't think he's a dog. So my cat lady friend is visiting, and little Lenny parks himself on her lap and just looks like a big white fluffy cat. And she's petting the cat. And then Capo comes along, and you could hear the violins play because he's got these cute little eyebrows. He just starts staring at her like he fell in love. And so it's like you can hear the music, da-na-na-na-na. And she's like, oh my God, your dog loves me. He really loves me. So I got one friend getting bit in the ass. I got another friend who my dog fell in love with. And then I got another friend, a singer friend, who likes to ride horses. And she came over to visit, and she was wearing boots, thank God, because they became ankle biters. The minute she came in, rah, 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 rah. And she's like, oh, it's okay. They smell the horses. So these dogs are impacting my life. It's like I realize now, anybody wants to get close to me, they got to get close to my dogs. So now I understand when people run weird personals, stuff that says, single white male looking for a female, must be a dog lover. I mean, I used to see that and think, what a kinky ass, must be a dog lover. But now I get it. if your dogs don't love the people in your house, you've got no social life. Zero. So they're my little mob dogs. And I told you guys last week, if you go on YouTube, you can watch the special last week. Those dogs caused me to get sued for $50,000. That's how much I love those dogs. Because this lady tried to have my dog put down, and she sued me for $50,000. But that's just the way life goes. So back to the marriage situation. How many of you ended up divorced during the pandemic? You found love during the pandemic? You were single? And then you found love during the pandemic?
Yeah, until it.
You were not 6 feet apart if you found love in the pandemic. So here's what happened to me. Anybody see Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Remember that ugly guy Smiggles?
Yeah.
My wife turned into Smiggles during the pandemic. It was like, I love Little J. Little J's nice. No, Little J must die. All of a sudden, she was Smiggles. And I was like, why the change of attitude? She's going through menopause. She's coming after you. She's going through menopause. And then forget about it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I've got like a tattoo on my forehead that only bipolar people can see. But I am like a bipolar magnet. It's like I draw bipolar people to me. And it's cool. It's cool because, they're very creative, very passionate about things. But talk about high and low in 60 seconds. Okay? I'm going to show you a poem written by a bipolar friend of mine. And it went like this. I woke up in the morning. It was a beautiful sunny day. I looked out the window. The sky was light blue and gray. There on my window was a beautiful bird with a beautiful bill. And I beckoned him to come and sit on my windowsill. I held out my hand to give him a piece of bread. Then I jumped up, slammed the window shut, and crushed his head. That was a poem by a bipolar person. So, my buddy, he just got a divorce, and he was with a Latina, and her name was Nola. And he said, Jay, can you write me a song? I said, her name was Nola. She was bipolar. She wore a smile and a frown. Well, she's up and then she's down. When she gets mad, she'll make you feel bad. The whole house is shaking, the windows are breaking, 'cause she's Nola. Beware, she's bipolar. So, I was thinking, Michael Jackson, he knew what was happening. We could start calling Michael Jackson Nostradamus, because he started wearing a mask, and he started wearing a glove. Long before we were wearing masks and gloves. So you guys remember that song, Smooth Criminal? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? I was listening to it and I was like, no, I'm not okay. Not okay. Hate living this way. No, I'm not okay. Not okay. Hate living this way. You've been hit by, you've been touched by coronavirus. Woo! Now you guys know you're going to sing that the next time you hear the song. The next time you hear it. So, who in here is Latina? Any Latinas in the house? Latin people? Where's the Latin people? I can't hear you. We are on the east side. There's got to be some Latin women in here. How about half Latin? We got any half Latin? All right, we got one right there. The reason why I ask you is because...
I know everybody's had Latin in them.
Oh, yeah. We're all Latin, either by association, Latin by injection. Everybody's Latin. But I'm asking where my Latinas are because people from Cali love the Raiders, right? They love the Raiders. You're absolutely right about that. Yep. All right. Well, the reason why I ask where all my Latin people are is everybody knows I'm Italian. Everybody looks at me and they say, you look just like your grandfather, Carlo Gambino. So I'm very much Italian. I'm that family. But what people don't know is I'm half Puerto Rican. My mother's from Humacao, Puerto Rico. So I'm Puerto Rican and Italian. So here's what happens. I got a temper like Mount Vesuvius. When I get upset, the Puerto Rican side wants to cut you. The Italian side wants to whack you. Either way, you're screwed. But it's okay, because I have Italian family and I have Puerto Rican family. And this I tell you in honor of my Puerto Rican grandma. My Puerto Rican grandma from the South Bronx, she talked like this. And she said, I'm going to tell you something. That man is so ugly and so ugly, I don't want to be married to him no more. I said, Abuela, you're going to divorce Grandpa? Yes, I'm done with him, no more. The kids are grown. I said, Grandma, you can't do this. You've been with him 35 years. She said, I have a problem with him. He thinks he is king of this house. I don't want him to act like king no more. Before I married him, my last name was Reyes. Reyes means king. I'm going to divorce him and take back my name. So I was like, Grandma, I don't know. You know, it's hard to live alone when you've been with the same person for 35 years. She says, don't tell me nothing about a relationship. You got a big problem with your relationship. I said, oh yeah, Grandma? She said, yeah. I remember when you went out with that gringa. You know, you went out with that white girl that burned your house down. I said, Grandma, I said, you remember that because you witnessed the whole thing. I kid you not. My grandma was outside watering the flowers, and I lived right across the street from her. And I was dating this white girl, and I won't mention her name because I don't want to get sued. But I was dating her, and she became very infatuated with me quickly. And she was talking marriage and forever. And she had a bit of a drinking problem. And she would drink from morning to night. So I told her, you gotta go. You gotta go, because she kind of camped out at my house and refused to leave. I said, you gotta go. I don't want to be with you forever. Well, it was very rude of me to do, and I've never done that again. I have never been that straightforward with a girl. Because while I was at work and I was a DJ at a radio station, I started getting all these calls. And they're like, Jay, get home, your house is on fire. Jay, the firemen are trying to put out the flames. I couldn't believe it. So I jump in my car, I get home, and there's my grandmother watering her flowers, staring at the smoldering house I used to live in. I said, Grandma, did you see what happened? She goes, I did. I saw the whole thing. You went out with esta loco en la cabeza, which means crazy in your head. You see, if you want to stay with your own people, this not happen, but you went with the crazy white girl. I said, Grandma, that sounds terrible. But it's true. They act very different when they are upset. She said, I saw her come to your house. I saw her take a little knife and start to break the door lock to come in. I said, Grandma, you watched a girl commit B&E? She said, I saw. I said, Grandma, why didn't you call the police? No, I'm from the Bronx. We don't do that. We don't get involved. I said, Grandma, it's my house. She said, no, you're the one who went out with that girl. So then, she says, all of a sudden, I heard a crash out the window. All of a sudden, I saw your computer flying out the window. I said, Grandma, you saw this girl throw my computer out the window and you did nothing about it? Oh no, I don't like those things. Computers are not good. They ruin the family. It's okay. I said, Grandma, she throws my computer out the window. You think it's okay? Yeah, I told you I don't like those things. But then she goes to the side where your barbecue grill is and she gets some lighter fluid. I said, Grandma, are you serious? You watched the girl get lighter fluid? She said, she was not having a barbecue. She threw it on the house and lit the flame. I said, Grandma, when you saw my house on fire, did you then call the police? Oh no, I didn't have to. All the other neighbors called the police. And all the sirens was coming. I was like, oh my God. And she's like, now where are you going to sleep tonight? I said, I have no idea, Grandma. I have no idea. And then in Spanish, she said, bendición, which means sleep with the angels. So I ended up checking into this hotel called the Blue Angel Hotel. And that crap happened right here in Las Vegas, not even kidding you. So, in honor of all Latin grandmas everywhere, please, don't be so hard on your kid for dating outside your race. Don't think they deserve to have their house burned down. They don't. But it sure is white. It's so white wasn't crazy. Along with the white guys. Who in here got kids?
We all got kids.
Okay, any of you got kids that came to you one day and said they wanted to get a piercing? Did it just flip you out? I'm Italian and I was raised strict Catholic, and my kids had no tattoos, no piercings, none of that. And they were asking me from the time they were 15 to 20, can I get a tattoo? No. Can I get a piercing? No. No. I told them both, even though the legal age for drinking is 21, I said when you're 21, if you still have the idea of piercing or tattoos, go for it. So my daughter moved out at 18. She comes home at 21, and she visits me for Easter, and she says, "Happy Easter." And I said, "What?" "Happy Easter, how are you?" And she said, "Hey, when you left here, you were very articulate. All of a sudden, you're talking like Snaggletooth. What happened?" She said, "I got my tongue pierced. Do you like it?" She sticks out her tongue. There's this dumbbell in her tongue. I'm like, "Oh my God, for real?" She said, "Yes, I did that. I did that just before I came here. What do you think?" I said, "I think I'll put a magnet on your head and keep your damn mouth shut." I said, "That's what I think." Then she introduces me to this boy she's shacking up with. Reason why I say shacking up is because she got no plans to marry him. And I'm like, that didn't fly in my old school Italian Catholic culture. I was like, what? And so she introduces me to the boy, and he got a little piercing over here, and a little piercing in his nose, and he got something going on in his wrist. And I'm like, yo, I thought you were gonna date a man, not fish, bait, and tackle. I said, this kid looks like he got hung up in a clothesline or a fishing line. So most of you that know me know that I handle stress by writing parodies. So I took the 80s song, Something Going On, and I rewrote it. It goes like this. When you pierced your nose, I didn't care. But please don't pierce your privates down there. Your navel and nipples, now that must have hurt. Your jewelry's popping through your shirt. There's straight piercing going on. Because for me, I'm 56. I bet you guys thought I was younger, right?
Yeah.
Everybody says, how can you be 56? I'm like, chubby cheeks knock out the wrinkles. I'm like, nobody needs liposuction. Nobody needs silicone, just a lot of cheese and pizza. And I applaud you, because you was talking about being fat and overweight. Yo, man, the first thing that happened to me was I got married, had a couple of kids, forget about it. I started packing on the pounds. And I started eating brownies and cookies and watching Disney movies instead of going to the club. So, again, one day I looked in the mirror and I said, oh my God, it's a big old gut. I got a big gut that I just can't hide. These reasons to tell you why. I eat a lot, that's what I got. Suck it in, but it pops back out. Suck it in and it makes me shout. Ain't never gonna lose it. Might as well just use it. Russell's chips up on me. Every time I'm hungry, I jiggle and I wiggle. Every time I giggle, ain't gonna let you weigh me. Call me Jello baby. Shake it, yeah, shake it. Yeah, shake that flabby gut. I said shake it, yeah, shake it. Yeah, shake that flabby gut. So, when I got problems, I just make parodies. So, the reason why I'm fat is I'm like bread. I eat bread like forget about it. Bread, onion rolls, flour tortillas. I mean, in New York, Italians go to deli all the time and they make that fresh bread. So it's like forget about it. I just love fresh bread and deli sandwiches. So I took the song I Love Rock and Roll and I turned it into I Love Onion Rolls. I saw her standing there by the bread machine. I knew that she could bake most anything. I said, baby, can I take you home? We can bake me an onion roll, Then I took her home and she baked bread, yeah, bread. All the bread that I can be fed. She baked bread, yeah, bread. I said, I love onion rolls. Put another loaf in the oven, baby. I love onion rolls. Come and use my oven and bake for me.
Yay!
Then, anybody that put on weight, don't worry, I got a song for you. If you're looking at your husband or your wife and you're feeling a little self-conscious because you gained all this extra weight, you remember Gwen Stefani? She had that song, Don't Speak? I turned it into Don't Peek. Don't peek. I know I'm kind of chubby, but baby, say you love me. Don't tease me cause it hurts. Don't peek. I know I'm overweight now. I'm gonna lose it somehow. Don't tease me cause it hurts.
Yeah!
I used to be so tiny, a very tiny size 3. Oh yeah. But after years and one too many beers, it's easy to see how I ended up like this. Don't peek. I know I'm kinda chubby, but baby, say you love me. Don't tease me cause it hurts.
Yeah!
So, as you can clearly see, I know about the food. I'm gonna make magic. I says, Charlie, have you learned any new tricks? He says, yeah, but I don't like to say abracadabra. I said, why? He says, I want to say bada boom, bada bing. I said, why? He said, that's the sound of 3 bodies rolling around the back of my Lincoln. Once you guys go. Now, somebody was up here a little earlier. Who was that? I think it was a dude in the hat talking about, you've been here in Vegas since the mob ran things, right? Yeah. Things were better when the mob ran things. I'm proud of who I am. Gambino, the first 5 families, things were way better. At least when you went to a show, you dressed for success. You know, now the people are like in flip-flops and shorts. And then there was this level of respect, you know, everybody gave everybody respect. Everybody tipped everybody. Do you guys know what the word tip actually means? Does anybody know what TIP means? Anybody raise your hand? Nobody knows. You're gonna learn today. The Italians invented tips. TIP. To ensure proper service. There you go. To ensure proper service, you slide somebody and do something, bada boom, bada bang. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. So I'm having a good time at the Lucky Club. Because, you know, anybody in here lucky?
Yeah!
Did anybody go to the machines and win something? No. Is anybody here a Keno player?
Yeah!
Does anybody, those of you that say yeah, must have won at Keno before, yeah? I always tell people, if you hit a jackpot, you love the game. If you don't hit a jackpot, you hate it. But here's what's really interesting. You can tell a Keno junkie. A Keno junkie talks to the machine like they picked up a hot date. Okay? They pick their numbers and they're clicking it. Yeah, baby, come on. Come on, yeah. Yeah, give it to me. Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. And then it goes ding, 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 ding. That's like a small orgasm, you know? Ding, 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 ding. You know, you're winning things. But then when it hits the jackpot, it's like the multiple orgasms. It's like, boom, we're in the money, we're in the money. Keno players are like junkies. They talk to their machine. They rub the machine. They call it baby. They pray, everything. Come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby. But when that machine doesn't give it out, when she doesn't give the jackpot, it's like a bad date. That guy walks around there. I found my money, didn't give me nothing. Didn't give me nothing. You can tell a Keno junkie. So I hope you're at the Lucky Club. I hope any of you that go out and hit those machines get really, really lucky. I'm Jay Gambino. Peace out.